When should you start collecting Social Security? You're at your desk doing what you've done every few months for the past 3 years, pulling up that Social Security calculator, plugging in age 62, then 67, then 70, and watching the numbers change. Your coworker retired last year at 62 and she seems fine. Your brother-in-law is waiting until 70 and calls you an idiot every Thanksgiving for even considering claiming early. And you're paralyzed because this decision feels permanent and you have absolutely no idea what the right answer is. Here's the brutal truth. The vast majority of Americans get this decision catastrophically wrong. And it costs them somewhere between $100,000 and $250,000 over their retirement. My name is Tax Shura, and I spend way too much time thinking about Social Security claiming strategies. If you're someone who's been told a million different things by a million different people about when to take Social Security, and you're terrified of making the wrong choice, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because look, this isn't a simple question with a simple answer. And anyone who tells you always wait until 70 or take it as soon as you can is giving you advice that could potentially destroy your retirement. The right answer depends on math you've probably never seen and psychology you've definitely never considered. Here's the thing, and this is going to make you uncomfortable. 48% of Americans claim Social Security at exactly age 62. Not 62 and 3 months, not 62 and a half, exactly 62. According to the Social Security Administration's own data, it's the single most common claiming age by a massive margin. Now, statistically speaking, that cannot possibly be the optimal age for half of all retirees. That's not how math works. What's actually happening is that 62 is the earliest age you can claim. So people see that date on the calendar and think, well, I've been waiting my whole life for this. Why would I wait longer? This is loss aversion in action. We are psychologically wired to prefer getting something now rather than something larger later, even when waiting is objectively better. It's the same reason people take the lump sum lottery payment instead of the annuity, even though the annuity pays out way more over time. Let me show you numbers that should fundamentally change how you think about this. Let's say your full retirement age benefit that's age 67 for anyone born in 1960 or later is $2,000 per month. Here's what you actually get at different ages. Age 62, $1,400 per month, 30% reduction. Age 67, $2,000 per month. Full benefit, age 70, $2,480 per month. 24% increase. Now, most people look at that and think, okay, if I take it at 62, I get 5 extra years of payments before the age 67 person gets anything. I'm coming out ahead. Let's actually run this. Claiming at 62, you receive $1,400 times 12 months times 5 years equals $84,000 before the age 67 claimer gets their first check. But here's what most people don't realize. At age 78, the person who waited until 67 has now collected more total money than you. They've mathematically caught up and passed you. From age 78 until death, they're making $600 more than you every single month for the rest of their lives. If you live to 85, which is roughly the average life expectancy, if you're healthy at 62, the person who waited until 67 has collected $42,000 more than you in total. If you make it to 90, they've collected $114,000 more. And the person who waited until 70, if they live to 87, they've surpassed the age 62 claimer. By age 90, they're ahead by $89,280. Now, you might be thinking, but Tax Shura, what if I don't live that long? What if I take it at 62 and die at 68? At least I got something. And look, I get it. That fear is real. But here's the psychology we need to unpack. You're making a $100,000 plus financial decision based on the assumption that you're going to die earlier than average. According to the Society of Actuaries, if you're a healthy 62-year-old man, you have a 50% chance of living past age 85 and a 25% chance of living past 92. For women, it's even longer, 50% chance of living past 87, 25% chance past 94. This is where it gets really interesting. If you're married, there's a 50% chance that at least one of you lives past age 92. Social Security isn't just about you. It's about ensuring the surviving spouse has income for potentially 30 plus years. Here's the one scenario where claiming at 62 absolutely makes sense, and it's the scenario nobody wants to talk about. If you have serious health issues that realistically mean you won't make it to your late 70 seconds, claim early. If you have a terminal diagnosis, if you have a chronic condition that significantly reduces life expectancy, if your family history shows everyone dying in their early 70 seconds, take the money now. The break-even analysis assumes you live long enough for it to matter. But, and this is critical, I'm tired is not a health condition. My job is stressful is not a terminal diagnosis. I see people claiming at 62 because they're burned out, and then they live to 92 on 70% of what they should have been receiving. If you're married, this decision becomes exponentially more complex and exponentially more important. Here's what happens. When one spouse dies, the surviving spouse gets to keep the higher of the two Social Security benefits. The lower benefit disappears completely. Let's say you're the higher earner. Your benefit at full retirement age is $2,500. Your spouse's benefit is $1,200. You claim at 62 and lock in $1,750 instead. You die at 80. Your spouse is now 78 and is stuck with $1,750 per month for potentially the next 15 years, instead of the $2,500 they would have received if you'd waited. That's $750 per month, $9,000 per year. Over 15 years, that's $135,000 in lost income for your surviving spouse, who statistically is more likely to be female and more likely to have saved less. The higher earner in a marriage should almost always delay Social Security as long as possible, because you're not just maximizing your benefit, you're maximizing the survivor benefit. Look, here's what actually makes sense for most people, and it requires you to think about Social Security as part of your overall retirement income strategy, not as an isolated decision. If you have savings, and I mean actual retirement savings, not your emergency fund, you can use those savings to bridge the gap between retirement and age 70. Here's the math. Every year you delay Social Security past full retirement age, your benefit increases by 8% per year. That's an 8% guaranteed inflation-adjusted return. Show me another investment that gives you that right now. You can't, because it doesn't exist. So if you've got $200,000 in a 401k, instead of claiming Social Security at 62 and letting that 401k grow, you flip the script. You live off the 401k from 62 to 70, drawing down maybe $25,000 to $30,000 per year to supplement part-time work or other income. At 70, you claim Social Security at the maximum amount, which is now 76% higher than what you would have received at 62. You've essentially converted a volatile 401k with market risk into a guaranteed inflation-protected income stream that you can't outlive. Here's exactly what you need to do. First, create an account at ssa.gov and look at your actual benefit estimates, not hypotheticals, your numbers. Second, honestly assess your health and family longevity. Don't assume you'll die young just because you're pessimistic. Third, if you're married, run the survivor benefit calculations. This isn't just about you. Fourth, look at your other retirement assets. Can you bridge the gap to 70 using savings? Does that strategy mathematically make sense? Fifth, and this is the hardest part, detach your identity from your claiming age. Claiming early doesn't make you smart. Claiming late doesn't make you greedy. It's just math. The decision of when to claim Social Security is one of the most important financial decisions you will make in your entire life, and most people spend more time researching which TV to buy. You can't change this decision later. Once you claim, you're locked in, minus a very narrow 12-month window to reverse it. This is permanent. Stop listening to your coworker who claimed at 62. Stop listening to your uncle who swears you should wait until 70. Start running your actual numbers based on your actual life expectancy, your actual marriage situation, your actual health, and your actual financial resources. You've learned a lot in this video, but none of it really matters if big Social Security changes are coming in 2026. So if you want to find out the surprising truth, just click on the video right here on your screen. I'll see you there. Your retirement is too important to guess about. Do the math.